So the first question is, are you staying in the same school / grade next year? Okay, the next question is, did you feel like you were ready to be teaching on your own when you started? Then the first day happened and I was like, oh my gosh, like I really miss my CT. It was, how do you handle finances with being a first year teacher? Any advice? So there's a lot of questions about finances and stuff like that. Do you see yourself in 10 years? 10 years, that's a long time. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a Q&A video. I'm really excited for this video because I just want to chat with you guys and kind of talk about next year and talk about distance learning and all the things that we are going to talk about today. I asked you guys over on Instagram to submit any questions you guys had, and there's some really good questions that I'm excited to talk with you guys about. And so if you guys are new here, hello, my name is Haley. I'm a first year kindergarten teacher. I've been vlogging my whole experience, been loving every minute of it. And so if you'd like to see more of my journey, please make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can see the rest of my videos. Also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and let's get answering some questions. So there's a lot of really good questions that you guys asked, so I'm going to try my best not to just like be super chatty and just like answer them without talking your ear off. So let's try this. So the first question is, are you staying in the same school / grade next year? So I am, and I'm so happy about it. So I'm going to be teaching kindergarten again. I'll be in the same classroom and I'll be in the same school. And so I'm really excited because I absolutely love my school. I love the grade that I teach. I love kindergarten. And so I'm really excited to be able to do that again next year. Okay, the next question is, what are some first year teacher must-haves? I'm actually going to be filming a whole video on this. I have it on the calendar to be filmed sometime soon in the next couple of weeks. And so stay tuned for that video. Okay, the next question is, are your district's schools closed for the rest of the year? If so, how are you coping? So we got the news probably almost a month ago now. I don't remember the exact date we got it, but our schools are closed for the rest of the year. It was really hard for me at first, just as I imagine so many teachers are feeling right now. I was feeling very sad and mad and heartbroken, and those feelings are all valid. But then I kind of just like thought about it, and I had literally my dream year. Like my class was the best class that I could have ever hoped for. They were so sweet, and the fact that I like missed them so much and that I wanted to spend the rest of the year with them just showed like how great of a year we had together. And so I just kind of like tried to refocus my mindset on, you know, I am still their teacher. I still have, you know, a couple of months with them, and I want to try and do my best for them from afar. That's kind of how I'm coping with it. I'm doing okay. I'm doing good. I have been really focused on trying to make sure that I am happy and that, you know, just accepting what's going on is what I have had to do. Okay, the next question is YouTube a lot to do as an added thing? Do you ever get discouraged with it? So YouTube, for me, it is not that much of an added thing, especially during the school year, because I did a lot of weekly and daily vlogs, and for me those are my favorite things to film. They don't cause me a lot of stress or anxiety to have to film those, and I don't film a lot of sit down videos because those take a lot more like thinking out and planning, and it requires me to like take time out of my day to sit down and do it, whereas vlogging is just something I do throughout my day. So during the school year, it's not that much of an added thing for me to do. I usually will edit on the weekends, and that's why usually my videos will go up on Sunday, because I will edit on Saturday. And so I don't really do a lot of YouTube stuff during the week or anything like that. And do I ever get discouraged with it? I take breaks sometimes. I know I have taken like a week off here or there when I just like haven't been in the mood to film, and I think that's totally fine and healthy, because I don't want YouTube to become something I don't like to do. I don't want YouTube to be like a chore or like something I have to do. I want it to be something that I want to do, and kind of like a creative outlet and a way for me to find community and just share my life and stuff like that. And so I don't think YouTube is that much of an added thing for me, and I don't get that discouraged with it. Okay, the next question is, did you feel like you were ready to be teaching on your own when you started? So at the end of student teaching, I was like, yep, I'm totally ready, let's go. Like I was so excited and so pumped to have my own classroom. Then the first day happened and I was like, oh my gosh, like I really miss my CT because I mean, when you switch from having someone right there with you all the time, someone to like bounce ideas off of, somebody to help, you know, manage the kids and help pass out materials and just all those little things that you don't really think about. When you don't have that, it's a lot harder and it's a lot more to do and a lot more to manage. And so at the beginning of the year, I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't even know if I can do this. I remember a specific moment, like probably week 3 of the school year, I was like looking around the classroom and it was a little bit chaotic, even though it probably wasn't, but in my head I thought it was really chaotic. And I just remember questioning myself, like, how the heck am I going to do this for the rest of the year? How am I going to do this for the rest of my life? Like, am I made to do this? And the answer is yes, like I can do it. But in the first couple of weeks of teaching, it was really hard for me to just kind of like be all by myself, make all the decisions by myself and not have anyone to bounce ideas off of. And then throughout the year I was able to, you know, make more friends with my coworkers and stuff, and then you develop that relationship where you can bounce ideas off of. And so I would say that I did feel really ready before this school year started, and then towards the beginning of the year I was kind of like questioning whether or not I felt ready, but I think I was ready. Going off of that, the next question is, do you prefer being the only teacher or would you want a co-teacher? I personally prefer to be the only teacher in the classroom, just because I like to be in charge and I like to do things my way. And when you're the only teacher in the classroom, you don't have to, you know, ask for approval, if that makes sense. Like if I have an idea in my head and that's how I want to execute a lesson, then like I can do that without having to run it by someone else, if that makes sense. And so I personally prefer to be the only teacher in the classroom. But I do like having para educators and other support teachers in there, but I wouldn't want to have a co-teacher that I am required to plan with and required to, like, you know, run everything by, if that makes sense. But I do appreciate the support I have in my classroom. Okay, the next question is, what was your first ever day of teaching like? So I actually vlogged it, and I'm really grateful that I did vlog it because it helps me remember what we did and how it went. I remember feeling very, very excited and also very nervous. And I remember, obviously because I'm kindergarten, all the kids don't know what to do. And some of them, you know, don't even know they're supposed to close the door in the bathroom. So there's a wide range of knowledge, and so we had to practice routines, and that's what I really would highly recommend doing on your first day of school. Obviously do the fun like classroom community builder activities and stuff like that, but like also get down your routines so that then you can like have that foundation moving forward. I would say my first day ever of teaching was a success because everyone in my class got home safely, where they were supposed to go, how they were supposed to get there, and all of that. And I think that is the biggest thing that you can accomplish the first day. Okay, the next question was a very frequently asked question. It was, how do you handle finances with being a first year teacher? Any advice? So there's a lot of questions about finances and stuff like that. And so I would just say how I handle finances is I have a budget. My husband and I have a budget together. He makes our budget. And so I just think you have to be smart with your money and just not spend it on things that you don't need. We don't have a lot of things that we don't need in our house. We are very minimal, and that's due to the fact that, you know, we're newly married and newly in our careers and stuff like that. And so I would say that budgeting is the best thing to do if you are concerned about finances. Everyone's situation is different. I'm obviously married and that helps. I just would recommend budgeting and getting things, you know, thrifted or used, so then you get a discount and stuff like that, or wait for sales. Yeah, I personally never thought about the fact that as a teacher you make less money than other careers. That never held me back. That never made me question my decision to be a teacher, because I just knew that that's what I wanted to do and the money didn't matter to me. And so, you know, you don't go into teaching for the money. I would just say my advice would be to make a budget, and then just be smart about it and follow through with it and follow the budget. Okay, someone asked, what are you most excited about for year number 2? I am so stinking excited for the second year, you guys, just because I'm in the same grade, I'm in the same school, I'm in the same classroom. I know what I'm doing a little bit more. Like, I just am so excited because I'm like so much more prepared than I was last year. And I know that's like an obvious thing, but like I can't explain to you how excited I am for the fact that I know the curriculum. I know what skills they're supposed to be developing at certain points in the year. I know how to better teach the things that I'm supposed to teach. Like, I'm so pumped for next year, you guys, and I'm just excited to do some extra things that I had on the back burner last year that I wanted to do. Like, I want to do sensory bins, and I want to do different things like that I am really excited to be able to work on this summer to prepare for next year. So overall, the most exciting thing for me about year 2 is that I'll know what I'm doing a little bit. Okay, the next question is, how do you transition from lesson to lesson? This is a really good question. So my schedule this year I absolutely loved, because I'll just outline how it was. So I had writing, and then that was first thing in the morning. So then after writing, they went to specials, and that was my plan time. So that was how we transitioned from writing to math. And then I had a math block from specials to lunch. And so that was like that chunk. And so I was able to prep materials for math and put them out while they were at specials, and then after math during lunchtime I was able to clean them up and put them away. And then after lunch we had reading rotations, and so during lunchtime I was able to put out the materials for reading rotations. And so the only big transition thing that I had was between reading rotations and then our being a reader whole group lesson, which was like a story and it had a teaching point and stuff like that from our curriculum. And so usually that transition, I would have the kids clean up, come to the carpet, and I would put on a Go Noodle of some sort. Sometimes it was a breathing calming one, sometimes it was like an active dance one, just something for them to like get a break, and then I could quickly prepare whatever I needed to do for the next lesson. And so that's how I transitioned from there. After our whole group reading lesson, we went to play to learn time, and so the kids would just like switch on the carpet facing the board so they could choose where they wanted to go for play to learn. After play to learn time, they went to recess. And then when they came back from recess, we did independent reading. And so the kids would grab their book boxes as they came in and put them on their desk and then start reading. And then after independent reading time, they'd put their book boxes away and we'd do our making meaning comprehension lesson. That, again, they would quickly put away their book bins and I would quickly grab the materials because it was usually just a read aloud and some other activities. And so that's how our day went last year. And so transitions weren't that hard because I had breaks in between each lesson. So I'm hoping and crossing my fingers that I will get the same plan time next year and I can build my schedule very similar because I really liked my schedule this year. Okay, the next question is, do you have a dramatic play center? What's that look like? So I somewhat have a dramatic play center, not to the extreme that a lot of teachers have. Like, I have a kitchen that the kids can play at, I have like puppets the kids can use, and that's pretty much it. I don't have like a themed, you know, seasonal or monthly play center for the kids. That is something that I want to do, not this year, but maybe next year. So like my third year teaching, I would maybe want to do, but not yet because it would require a lot of purchasing of materials and items and bundles and stuff like that, and I'm just not ready to do that quite yet. Probably in the next couple of years I will amp up my dramatic play center. The next question is, what's your routine like when you get home from teaching? So kids get out at 3:50 p.m. and then I am allowed to leave at 4:15. When school ended, I was going to the gym on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and so Monday, Wednesday, Friday I would leave right at 4:15 or 4:20 and then go to the gym, and then I'd come home, make dinner, all of that. On Tuesdays and Thursdays though, I would stay at school a little bit longer. I would usually stay until like 5, and then I would drive home, get home, we'd make dinner, and then usually I would shower, and then Warren and I would just kind of like watch a show together or read a book or something like that. And so my routine coming from home from school is not very exciting, but it kind of depended on the day. Okay, the next question is favorite planner and why? So this is something I'm actually debating right now. So last year I had a Happy Planner and I really loved it. I like that it's a lot more affordable. They're really cute. They have a lot of accessories you can buy, and I just really like the format of it. But this year I'm also like looking into the Erin Condren planner, and I don't know which one to choose. So if you're watching right now and you have had either of those planners, leave me a comment down below on which one you prefer, because Erin Condren is like way more expensive by far, but you can like customize it a lot more. And so I'm wondering if maybe once I get my schedule I could put like the headings in and they'll like print it and stuff, and you can like have your name on it and stuff like that. And so I don't know, I'm kind of torn between the two, but I'll probably end up going with a Happy Planner again, and then I'll show you guys whichever one I end up getting. Okay, the next question is, do you think / know if you'll be back in the classroom in the fall? I sure hope so. Me too, girl. I do not want to teach distance learning, online learning with freshly turned 5-year-olds. That is not my dream way to start the school year. And also I feel like it would be so much harder with kids I don't have a relationship with and families I don't have a relationship with. Like, it's hard as is with the families I already know and the kids I already know, and like, you know, now most of them are 6. So really crossing my fingers we will be back in the fall, because I just don't want to have to do this again. Okay, the next question is advice for being young, married, and a new teacher. I'm gonna be the same. I would say something that I have struggled with throughout the entire year, and probably will struggle with the rest of my life, is balancing, you know, personal life and teaching. And especially when you're in your very first year and when you don't have a family, like you don't have kids that require your attention. I definitely had to balance being home at a reasonable time, and I just know that my husband is very supportive of me as a teacher, and he understands that, you know, during your first couple of years you spend a lot of time there, especially at the beginning of the year. And so he was totally understanding. And so I think if your husband isn't aware of how much time teaching is, or like how much of a commitment slash like how much work it is, I would say just communicate with them about how, you know, at the beginning of the year you're gonna have to stay late and you're gonna have to work on it over the weekends and stuff like that. But I would say try to balance on the weekends, don't work on school. During the weekdays, work on school. That's what I did, and that kind of helped us just be able to set that boundary for us. And just communicate, especially if you're like dealing with something in the classroom, say you have like a really hard student. I would talk to Warren all the time about my students, and he just would help me like talk through what was happening and what possibly could be causing the behaviors and stuff like that. And so I just say communicate a lot and then set some boundaries too. Okay, the next question is, how did you start your YouTube channel? So I just kind of went for it. I actually started filming almost 2 years ago, like to the day almost. It was around this time that I started my YouTube channel. It was when I was still in college, and I just was filming whatever I wanted to film. I filmed a lot of like grocery hauls and like clothing hauls and student teacher videos and what I eat in a day and just like whatever I wanted to film. And so I just started filming just to kind of document the season of life I was in. I wanted to have a place to look back on memories, and I watched a lot of YouTube vloggers, and so I decided I wanted to do that too. So I just decided to go for it one day, and that's, I think, the best thing that you can do. And I think that you need to not be focused on the numbers. You need to be in it for the right reasons. If you're in it for money, subscribers, anything like that, you're not going to make it. You'll get discouraged and then you'll stop, and that's just the reality of it, because it takes a very long time to find a community and for people to find your videos. And I could talk about this all day long, and so if you guys are interested in a video about how to start a YouTube channel, let me know down below and I could talk about that a little bit more. But overall, I just kind of went for it one day, and it just worked for me. Favorite thing about married life slash young marriage? I just love being married, to be honest with you. I don't know what is my favorite thing. I think my favorite thing is just that you have a support person right there for you all the time, and they, you know, are your biggest cheerleader, they're your biggest supporter, they are there for you to talk to, they are there to encourage you and help you grow. And I just love being married to Warren. I just love being married. I don't know, I think it's fun to just have someone to go on adventures with and to be there with you, and you just get to do everything together. And I think when you get married young, you can grow together a lot and you can see each other grow. And I think that I don't know, I think it's really cool. I like it. What is something you want to add to your classroom next year? So I want to add like monthly seasonal sensory bins, because I started to do this at the very end of the year last year, in like February before we got out, and my kids loved it. It was so much fun, and so I definitely want to incorporate sensory bins into my classroom. I also want to incorporate some level of flexible seating. I want to incorporate some more flexible seating, and so I have a couple of like floor desks that the kids use during center time, and then they also, I have seen like the scoop rockers. I want to get some of those. I also want to make crate seats. And so I just have a couple of things that I want to add into my classroom to add some more flexible seating. And so the two things I really want to focus on are sensory bins and flexible seating options. I also want to integrate more technology, which is kind of funny because that's all we're doing right now. But I actually just got approved for a Donors Choose project, and I actually got my Kindle Fires in today, which is exciting. And so I want to incorporate like Get Epic into my classroom and just some other different websites that are really good for kids. And so I want to incorporate more technology too for next year. Okay, the next question is, what do you use for behavior management? I actually have a whole video on classroom management slash behavior management that I used last year. I will link it up here. I'm going to be using the same system next year as well. The next question is, how are your kitties? They're so good. They're getting so big. They're actually not in here right now, otherwise I would show you, but they're so big and so cute. Okay, the last question that I'm going to answer today is, where do you see yourself in 10 years? I thought this question was really interesting because I honestly have no idea where I see myself. So let me think for a second. I see myself living in the same area. We'll see. So probably still in Washington, probably still in the Seattle area somewhere. I hope to own a house by then. 10 years, that's a long time. I would imagine that I have at least 2 kids, maybe pregnant with a third, I don't really know, and probably having a dog, at least 1 dog, 1 or 2 dogs. Those are the 4 things I see myself doing for sure in the next 10 years probably. And that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope it isn't too long. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can see the rest of my videos. Also, if you aren't already, make sure to follow along on Instagram so you can see day-to-day life updates, stuff like that. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! I don't wanna say
gonna keep it low. Now, if you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe.